All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakha, Kodash, Ma. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of GMS. Double honors to our elder of this camp as well, Aharawan Ban Yasharala. Salutations to the sincere Akim pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm the Kar Harab Ban Yasharala.
Khanaksan Ban Yasharala.
I'm a woman.
Ban Yasharala of the Lions Den camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Now today we'll be coming out with a lesson, just another thing of Esau and his wicked devices and his unrighteous decrees. But without further ado, about the Shah, can you grab that?
Come on, this is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. It says, "Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed."
So woe unto them that write unrighteous decrees, that right grievousness which they have prescribed. And there's a grievous thing within Esau's power structure, i.e. his laws or his regulations or his statutes, that is called the Patriot Act, which basically, when you break it down to the bare minimum, it basically demonizes the citizens of the country and deems the natural citizens here as domestic terrorists, or can be labeled as terrorists in their own country. You bring that up.
All right, so the Patriot Act, this is Wikipedia. It says the U.S. Patriot Act, commonly known as the Patriot Act, was a landmark act of the United States Congress. It says the formal name of the statute is the Uniting and Strengthening America by providing appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct terrorism. U.S. quote-unquote USA Patriot Act of 2001.
Okay, so under the guise of protecting against terrorism from abroad, they have put this act or this regulation in place to basically spy on the people. Because everybody knows that 9/11 attack. If you have any real sense, you know that Esau is a master false flagger. So we're not gonna get too much into that. But if you in the know, you know that wasn't a for real terrorist attack. But they used that as a means to gain more control over the people. And in 2001 is when this act was enacted or put into law or put into fruition to be able to, deem the people terrorists under the guise of fighting terrorism from abroad, of, keeping terrorists and different threats out of the country of America.
And if you fast forward to today, the people that are not following behind these mandates, you get what I'm saying, are deemed as to be terrorists because you have actually people that are following the mandates want to see the other people that don't follow the mandates die, just like how they want to see all Muslims die when the World Trade Center bombing happened. All right, so what it is, it's caused to have a split in America when the United States is the biggest terrorist on the earth.
Biggest terrorist organization on the planet. Through what? Through their laws, through their sanctions, through their wicked rules and regulations. Could you continue that with Bakusha?
All right. It says the Patriot Act was enacted following the September 11 attacks and the 2001 anthrax attacks, with the stated goal of dramatically tightening U.S. national security, particularly as it related to foreign terrorism.
So there you go. It was enacted in 2001 to like they say to tighten restrictions on terrorists abroad. But it was really a clampdown on the people, because as you can see what's going on now with what the brother Kanak was saying with the mandates. People that are not going with the mandates, they're deeming them as terrorists. But it's under the guise of we're protecting the people, when really the same government that's talking about us protecting against terrorism has just deemed its own citizens terrorists.
Well, actually, according to the Patriot Act, and according to the definition of domestic terrorists, it would make the government the terrorists and the people the victims that don't want to follow the mandates.
As a matter of fact, before you finish, let's just bring out this definition of domestic terrorism. Now, this is the definition of domestic terrorism. It says the committing of terrorist acts in the perpetrator's own country against their fellow citizens, and that's what the government of Babylon is doing. They're the perpetrators, but they're committing terrorist acts against the citizens of this place by deeming the citizens terrorists.
All right, let me get this definition of terrorism.
Come on.
Definition of terrorism is in its broad state sense the unlawful use of intentional violence to achieve political aims, especially against civilians. It is used in this regards primarily to refer to violence during peacetime or in the context of war against non-combatants, civilians, and non-military personnel. And the non-combatant civilian and non-military personnel are the people of the United States. And so these mandates go against they're unconstitutional, so which makes them unlawful. So the definition of violence doesn't have to be physical, because any opposing your will on another innocent human being is considered an act of violence. So these mandates are actually an act of terrorism.
Very much an act of terrorism, because now it's going to get to a point to where they're going to start coming to your personal space and forcing enforcing restrictions upon you for not following, the unlawful decrees that have been put into place.
You want this, Michael?
Is there more on that?
It's more on it. All right. So it says, in general, the act included three main provisions: expanded surveillance abilities of law enforcement, including by tapping domestic and international phones; ease integrity communication to allow federal agencies to more effectively use all available resources in counter-terrorism efforts, and increase penalties for terrorism crimes; and an expanded list of activities which include which would qualify for terrorism charges.
So there you go. They're tapping the phones, which that's an invasion of people's privacy. They're using social media platforms, which is also another invasion of people's privacy. People's lives are private, but they put this act in to be able to spy because they want more control. They want control over the people. They're just using the guise in order the disguise of, well, we're protecting from terrorists abroad, but then you terrorizing your own people right here on the land where they come from, where they live at. And what was the last act?
It says pretty much increase penalties for terrorism crimes, and an expanded list of activities which would qualify for terrorism charges.
So increase the penalties from terrorism crime or terrorist crimes, i.e. being able to hold somebody against their will, whether they be guilty or whether they be innocent. And how Esau rolls, he's really going to be coming at a lot of innocent people.
What it is, it says guilt. It says guilty into charge.
Well, it's supposed to be innocent until
proven guilty, but Esau is guilty until proven innocent, and you'll never get proved innocent because you're already guilty because he said you're guilty.
My question is, if I'm innocent till I'm proven guilty, why is it necessary to detain me?
Exactly.
That's where you got to prove my guilt in order to detain me. So they got it all backwards, and they got the people fooled to where as if that they can violate our constitutional rights. But that was the whole reason to allow anarchy. If the government got too much control, the people have the right to revolt. But now they're trying to make it seem like it's wrong for you to revolt, and if you revolt against the government, you're deemed a terrorist.
Saying they can lock you up, they can perform all kind of manner of search warrants, different things. They're using their policy enforcers, i.e. the police, to protect the infrastructure rather than to protect and serve the people, which they're under the guise of, we protect and serve, but they harm and enslave. That's what they're there for. But you bring the precept out up.
All right, this is Isaiah 5:20. It says, woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness.
Come on, you can get it.
Come on, man, and that's what Esau doing. He deeming that everything what we see is not right. He calling it good, and so far is the opposite. All right, he's against the will of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. All right, he is the ultimate destroyer of the earth, man. The scripture says in Job 9:24, it says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And so by him being in rulership right now, he's trying to come down with great wrath with his with these mandates, man.
And that's like the brother was saying, that's great wrath, and that's also a chance or an opportunity for what? The Most High to lift up that standard, to protect his men, to protect his people. But that's just how Esau get on, man. That's how he get on. He's the border of wickedness.
Got
that mic up.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, you got a precept.
Oh no, I'm finna find a precept, King of Terrors, but all right, this is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand."
So it says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity," and you know what I'm saying, and practice it. So, like to read that again. I don't want to botch it.
All right, it says, Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
So it says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity." This Patriot Act and any other mandate that they're going to come up with or have already come up with, it is devised iniquity. Meaning they sit down behind closed doors in the dark, where nobody else with the public eye can't see them, and then they put forth these wicked works and these unrighteous decrees, and they work these evils upon their bed because it is in their power. When they wake up, they're thinking about doing something wicked. They're thinking about doing something evil because it is in them. Why? Because it is in the power of their hand. And the same thing, you can flip that when Yasha Allah and Yahweh Shai is on the throne and Yasha Allah is in the kingdom. We're going to work righteousness upon, our bed. We're going to devise righteous ways and how to deal and how to run things the right way without iniquity. Bakusha.
I gotta get verse 2.
Khan, you good.
Alright, this is Micah 2:2. It says, "And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away, so that they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage."
So they covet fields and they take them by violence. Just like what the elder was saying in the previous video about the hunted video, where they're covetous. When you covetous, you want something somebody else has. And you will do any and everything to get what they have. So guess what? That's why they covet fields and take them by violence. Why you think they're all over the four corners of the earth doing what they're doing, trying to take over everything? They taking everything by violence, houses, and they taking everything that's not theirs, that don't belong to them. They will even oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
The same Shalaki.
Go ahead.
If I may add on, the same way he did the Native Americans, the Gadites, man.
Con.
He infiltrated their home, their land, and try to get them their so-called peace treaty, man.
Con. And took all of that, and now guess what? Gad on small little reservations here in Babylon, and suffering from alcoholism and all kind of manner of sicknesses. From mental to physical sicknesses. Somebody, I grab that Psalms
2:1.
Come on, unless you got it already.
Yeah, I got it.
Come on.
All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing?"
Go ahead, read it again.
Come on. Psalms 2:1. "Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing?"
So why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? And right now Esau, he's a heathen and he's raging on the earth. It says, "Why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing?" And the people imagine a vain thing. Esau's new world failure is a vain imagination. It will not come to fruition. It will not come to pass. Can you read verse 2, Babak Shah? You find your precept?
I got it. All right, this is Psalms 2:2. "The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai shall have them in derision.
So it says the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together. That's all these other nations, Esau included. They set themselves up and they take counsel amongst themselves, and they're standing against Yahweh Shai because they're wicked, and they standing against the anointed. Who are the anointed? Yasha Allah, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know, and they say to themselves, let us break their bands asunder. And that once upon a time when our people were ruling, you know, they was like, let's get them out of the way because they're torturing us. They're causing all kind of problems with us with this righteousness that they're pushing on the earth because, you know, they were increasingly wicked, you know, and cast away their cords. Let's get out from under this righteous rulership and rule ourselves and basically rule in wickedness.
And breaking our bands, meaning getting the laws out of our mind and casting them to the side, because the laws, statutes, and commandments, that's what we had that bounded us up as a nation. But just like how Antiochus IV did, he was like, leave the laws of your fathers and join the covenant with us, and that everyone may be one people. Just like how in the the time of Babylon, man, and just like how they trying to do today. They don't want us to have a righteous state of mind, because what is that going to do? That's going to be a stumbling block or a hindrance for them to promote their enterprise. But you know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to set it up to where His anointed are going to be covered back up under the law, not by the curse of the law, but brought back to where we're rehearsing the righteous acts here today, and we're rebuking these devils in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And how it says in Job, that's going to cause his confidence to be rooted up, and it's going to bring him to the king of terrors. So you ain't never seen terrorism till you see Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the king of terrors.
For real. He ain't going to be nice about it. But, and you know, and in that, they think that the Most High is sitting in the heavens and He's laughing. You know, like, look at what's happening to my people. But, you know what I'm saying, they like, oh yeah, the Most High got them in derision. Yeah, true enough, our people are in derision. They messed up in the head, astonishment of the heart. They believe in every which way of doctrine and different things like that. But the Most High going to come change that. He's going to change that. He's going to send Yahweh Shai, His son, to change all of that. But these other nations, the tabernacles of Edom and all these other nations, they are a confederate against us. And now Esau is in the spot to where those other nations are now confederate against him. Even Esau is confederate against Esau. So,
what the scripture says is a kingdom divided against itself. How can it stand?
And you know, America was established on division. You had the so-called independence from Britain, which never happened. Britain just became the financiers and developed the EU, and they just started running America like a business. And you know how you have your CEOs, your CFOs to make them think, let them feel like they're in charge of something. The presidents don't really have no power. The power coming from the upper elites come over there from Europe. That's why when the president gets elected, they go ahead and go over there and kiss the hand of the queen. You know, it's those Khazars, fake Jews, the Illuminati, the Rothschilds that run this. The ones that run the central bank are the ones that run in America and really running the whole world. And now they're trying to they're trying to do away with America and set China up as being the new golden city, if you will.
And that's just and guess what? That's just another wicked device or wicked devices of Edom. Everything that they do is just wickedness. It's devised wickedness. This is nothing but a wicked device. Babakusha, could somebody get Psalms 49 and 11?
This is Psalms chapter 49, verse 11. Their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generation. They call their lands after their own names.
So the inward thoughts is that they're going to last forever. Their inward thoughts is to think that they're going to push forth their unrighteous decrees and obtain their new world failure. You know, and they really think that it's going to last from generation to generation to generation of these Edomites, and they calling lands after their own names. And when they don't own nothing, they're just tenants on the earth. You know, Esau, he despised his birthright, so he gave it away. So he gave away all of this and the kingdom because it meant nothing to him. But Bakwashah, can somebody get Psalms chapter 52 and verse 1 all the way through 6?
52.
Come on.
I got free stuff real quick.
Come on, bring it out.
This is Psalms chapter 17, verse 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword."
It says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him," meaning right when he think he's about to do something, disappoint him, mess his whole plan up. Like right when he get that good stride, just stick that foot out there and clip him and watch him hit the ground. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing more annoying than that. You running good and something get in the way and tie your feet up and you hit that ground. It's very aggravating.
From men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hidden treasures. They are full of children, and they leave the rest of their substance to their babes. That was just going like a precept to they have their portion in this life. And the Most High, the Yahweh Shem Yahushai, has them in the spirit of derision because they actually think that their houses are going to continue to forever. And they set up memorial for their children. They leave their substance to their children for them to continue going on and on and on, because they feel like once they go into the ground and they come back up, they're going to still be in the same rulership position. But no, they're going to be enslaved already
all day long. Got that Psalms 52 with Buckle Shah. Start at verse 1.
All right, this is Psalms chapter 52, verse 1. It says, "Why boastest thou self in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of Yahweh endureth continually."
So it says, "Why boastest thou self?" And that's what Esau does. He boasted himself in mischief. And this is a question. Why do you boast yourself in mischief, O mighty man? Right now, Esau is the mighty man on the planet right now because the Lord set him up. This is, but the goodness of Yahweh endureth forever, and the goodness of the Most High is to take down these people. You know what I'm saying? His mercy, his majesty. That's the goodness of the Most High, and it endureth continually. So basically, righteousness is going to rule forever. Wickedness is but for a time. Righteousness is forever. Verse 2, Babak Shah.
Come on, it says, thy tongue deviseth mischiefs, like a sharp razor, working deceitfully.
Thy tongue deviseth mischiefs like a sharp razor, working deceitfully. The Patriot Act is in the tongue of the Esau's mouth, and it's sharp like a razor, and it works deceitfully. Meaning he comes up with all kind of manners of wickedness, and he speaks against people that are innocent or have done him no harm, like razors, meaning defaming characters, labeling them domestic terrorists, or possible terrorists or black identity extremists. And these are in terms, harsh terms like these are normally directed at people who don't fit either of those categories.
And also, if I may add on too, where it says, "Why boastest thou thyself in mischief?" And that word mischief goes into trouble. And we can see it right now how Esau he's trying to boast himself, trying to get the people to follow his plans, his rulership or whatnot through the calamities that's going on right now in the world, man.
Through his media pundits, mainstream media pundits, man. Using the famous people because Esau knows that Jake is a avid follower of folly. You know what I'm saying? Just basically the truth of the fact is our people just some following ass niggas. They follow anything that's foolish and they follow folly. Well, if it's right for you and good for them, they don't follow that. So that's why they're using these famous people to push their mandates. And one mandate in particular that,
I got a precept to that too. This is in Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin." And that's what our people are doing. They taking the counsel of everyone else, all right, except their true power, the true strength, man. They making excuses to live a wicked life, man. Wanting to boast and mischiefs, man. Boasting and adding sin to sin, man. Cause they confident, in their wickedness, man.
That's how they get down.
I got a precept. This is Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. We're just basically going off what you just said. It says, "For my people is foolish They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
Our people are foolish. They're sottish children. The Lord said our people are stupid.
Stiff-necked.
Just like stiff-necked, hard-headed. They honestly, they some of the smartest dumb people you know on the earth. And they don't know the Most High. They have not known the Most High. When it comes down to doing anything right and good, they don't have no knowledge of it. But they have a lot of wisdom, and they are very wise in doing things in wickedness, doing things in transgression according to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
That's why Esau put somebody like little nasty X up there, and our people will fight for him.
Con.
Our people are, y'all just don't understand him. Y'all just need to leave him alone. They'll fight for something like, but you see men of the Lord out there on the streets, right? But they fight against us. That's why I think it was the prophet Isaiah that said, Lord, they have killed all the prophets and they seek my life.
Con.
But the Most High said, I have reserved 7,000 men, which means completion, a complete number of individuals that have not bowed down to the image of Baal. But our 2/3 of our people are going to bow their backs down always, according to Romans chapter 11.
Con. So there you go. So our people. It is because you hit that verse
3.
Oh, okay, yeah, 3.
All right, this is back at Psalms chapter 52, verse 3. It says, "Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness."
And that's how Esau get on. He loved evil more than he loved good, and he would rather lie than tell the truth. He would rather lie than speak righteousness. He would rather tell you some left field swamp gas reflected off Venus beam ray crap rather than telling you what the real deal is. Why? Because there's no righteousness within him. He's not upright, so he's not going to tell you the truth anyway. And he loves to do evil. There's not one Edomite on the planet that like to do good. And if they doing good, more than likely they probably a Jake. Because even though our people are wicked and true enough they evil, a lot of our people, they still do got good hearts. And they'll do certain things, but for the most part, yeah, they're wicked. But they're of their father, the devil, to begin with. Verse 4.
Well, they're wicked for lack of understanding. So that would make them wicked, but more or less sinful. But Esau just wicked.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna have no understanding. Period. Point blank.
Verse 5, Babakusha.
All right, I got you. Verse 5. It says, "Yahweh shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away, and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place, and root thee out of the land of the living."
So the Most High is going to likewise destroy Esau forever. He's going to take Esau away. He's going to pluck him out of the earth. He's going to get rid of his dwelling place. He's going to destroy his kingdom. The Most High is going to destroy all his laws. He's going to kill all his mandates and he's going to bust his new world order up. And he's going to root them out of the land of the living. Once they go into slavery up under Yasharala, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, after 1,000 years, it's kaput. It's over. Ain't going to be no more Edomites on the earth. And
ultimately that's talking about us, but the curses that fell upon us are going to fall upon Esau now. Right? Because he's over there in our land right now, man. And he's going to get rooted out of that land. He's going to get rooted out of everywhere.
He's going to get rooted out of the earth.
Hey, Congo, Esau polluting the earth, man.
He messing up everything. The earth ain't even bearing fruit like it's supposed to. Last verse on that.
I got you. All right, back at Psalms 52 and 6, it says, "The righteous also shall see and fear, and shall laugh at him."
See, the righteous is going to see and fear the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, but they're going to laugh at Esau because of his downfall. We're going to rejoice when he is up out of here. And we ain't going to have no more problems on the earth. Because all the other nations are going to be glad that the earth is being ruled in righteousness. Because right now it's being ruled in wickedness, and everybody is in mourning. From the planet all the way down to the people. Somebody get Psalms 83. I get it. Psalms 83. I get it. 83? Yeah, 83. I got it.
Oh yeah, they're talking about Esau too, because they're talking about Doeg, the Edomite, the one that snitched on David.
Psalms 83.
All right, this is Psalms chapter 83, verse 1. It says, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
So David was asking the Lord, keep not silence. Don't hold your peace. Don't turn your eye away from what these Edomites are doing. Don't turn your eye away from the wickedness that's being pushed forth around the four corners of the earth. It says the enemies make a tumult. Thine enemies. These other nations are our enemies. They make a tumult. A tumult is like a riotous uprising or a riotous noise. And they that hate the Lord have lifted up their head. I mean, they have rose up against Yahweh Shai and his people.
It says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have taken crafty counsel. They meet up behind closed doors in dark places, out of the public eye, and what they take crafty counsel, conniving, slick counsel against thy people, the children of Israel, and the hidden ones. They consult against us. All these things that are happening from this one major mandate that they keep pushing in everybody's face, they're targeting Jake. They're not really targeting nobody else. So that's why they keep pushing it, because when they first came out with this mandate, Jake didn't move. Jake didn't go get it. So now they have to keep bothering Jake, and now that's why they're using rappers and famous people, radio personalities to push their agenda, their mandate. It's just crafty counsel.
Real quick, what I had said earlier about Psalms 52, yeah, that's talking about Esau, because Jake won't be destroyed forever.
Come on.
We got rooted out of the land of the living for our transgression, but we're going to be put back in that land. Esau going to be destroyed forever.
Smooth up out the earth.
Off the earth.
All the way off.
Alright, it says, this is Psalms 83 and 4. It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So they conspired to cut us off from being a nation. That's why our people don't know that they're Israelites. And when they hear the Israelites, they don't care. They would rather be niggas. They would rather be black. They would rather be African. They would rather be African American, Afro American. They would rather be melanated. It's a whole bunch of melanated people on the planet. We ain't the only ones. You know. They would rather be Kemetic instead of Shemitic, which
they gonna be Kemetic, because what a Kemetic means, Kem means hot. So they gonna be hot with the missiles, man.
Real. So they would rather be everything but a child of God. But these other nations conspiring against us to cut us off from not knowing. These Edomites paid literal billions of dollars to keep this information away, keep us from knowing. Continue, Bakusha.
All right, it says. Verse 5, it says, for they have consulted together with one consent, that they are confederate against thee.
So they all agreed on one decision with one consent, and they're confederate against us. Right now in this kingdom, yes, all these other nations are against us. Hell, 2/3 of our own people are against us right now.
And Con, you can see that with the system, how they got the system set up against us, man.
Con,
you know, it's no way it's a way to maneuver, but it's hard to maneuver through their system, man.
Con, because it's set up against it. It's set up against you. Us.
All right, keep going.
Yeah, to 8.
All right, it says, verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarins and Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Israel of Lot, Selah.
So there you go. They have consulted together the tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, you know, Moab, the Chinese, you know, the Hagarins. I think they're another African tribe. The Gebal, Ammonites, the Japanese, Amalek again, which is Esau. You know, the Philistines, I think that's also another tribe of how they say Africans.
Yeah.
With the inhabitants of Tyre, Asher also, what is that, the Syrians?
Yeah.
The Syrians, and also joined in with Esau to hold pin our people, to clamp down on us and hold us down and oppress us as a people, to come against us. So there you go. They're all against us, no matter who says what. These are the words of the Most High. So any famous person or whatever that say, I ain't never ran across a white man they're not our enemy. Yes, the flying flip phone, they are our enemies. They've been our enemies since Jacob and Esau. They have not changed their MO. Our people trying to join unto them, but Esau does not care. And these other nations are also following in the footsteps of these Edomites by what? Mistreating us. That's why they set up in all our neighborhoods. When we go in there, they look at us like we dirt, but want our money. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Psalms 55. Buck, what's up?
This is Proverbs 29 and 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And you can see that, man. We can see that Esau is currently in rulership, man, and it's hell. It's hell on earth, man. You know, and I also, going back to the calamities and the atrocities that Esau is trying to put on us, man. You know, it's oppressing. It's a great oppression on us, man. But when Yahweh Shai come back to redeem his children, the whole field elect, and 1/3 of the nation of Israel, all right, we're gonna see righteousness, man. You know, we're seeing righteousness through the men that's doing the work right now. But in all, for forality, that's a word.
Fruition.
Just being holy, that Yahweh Shai will come back and replenish the righteousness upon this place, man.
Because it's gonna happen. Whatever the Most High says, it's gonna happen.
And we're gonna rejoice.
We're gonna rejoice. And the wicked, they're gonna be so afraid when they see Yahweh Shai coming with the heavenly hosts. They gonna be scared. Cause it's something about us Israelite men that when we get mad, Mother Hubbers get scared for real. When we get serious, they get scared. They get scared. I'm talking about, like, even if they don't know you and they ain't part of what's going on, they see you mad, they get scared. So just imagine that with Yahweh Shai times 1,000,000. You bring out that Psalm 55 about
It's Psalms 55 and 20. He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenants.
Keep on.
All right. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
So he done put forth his hands against people that be at peace with him. He done destroyed and came against many people who had even no qualms with him whatsoever, who had no intention on fighting with him or even trying to destroy him. But then his words are what? Smooth, softer than oil, smoother than butter. It sound good when he talk. It sound good to your ears when he talk, but when it comes down to it, in his heart, it's full of war. It's full of murder. He want to take you out of your place so that he can sit there. And every time he comes talking smooth, you can best believe it's a wicked device behind it. He done already sat down with his little think tanks and then came up with some kind of evil wickedness to produce or to push forth on the people. Anybody got a precept before I bring this last point up?
But real quick point, like it says, he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with them. He had broken his covenant. You can look at the Constitution and say that. He broke that 20 million times dealing with the Native Americans. And he put forth his hands because they were trying to be at peace with them.
Yep.
If they would have been, if the Native Americans wouldn't have been at peace with them, they wouldn't have been able to survive in this terrain. They knew nothing about this land. They didn't know nothing about the habitation of this land, what they could and could not eat. They just went to slaughtering buffaloes and doing all kind of crazy shit. Destroying the ecosystem just to perform the enterprise. And then when the Native Americans tried to teach them, Gad and Reuben tried to teach them how to live, and Issachar tried to teach them how to live, them motherfuckers were like, all right, you taught us this, now we're going to cut your head off and push you off in the reservation. We're going to write this Constitution down, all men to be created equal, but we ain't talking about you, we just talking about us.
And
He's a truce breaker.
all day long.
Definitely.
The scripture say never trust thine enemy, but for some reason our people ain't got that memo. They ain't that they ain't got it. They can't get the memo. It's like they missing some screws somewhere. It's like, why you keep trusting this fool? This fool keep effing you up, and you just keep going back to him basically like a woman in an abusive relationship. You be with a dude 20-something, 100 years. He kick your behind every day, and you just still don't go nowhere.
What's that called? That's a Stockholm
syndrome.
Yep.
Come on.
Our people got that Stockholm syndrome, and what the scripture says, it says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. You know, that trust in chariots, that trust in these armies, man. That trust in Esau, man. Period. You know,
Come on.
because by you trusting in the system, man, you're gonna fall with it, man. When it do fall, and it is falling.
Come on. Right before you ever out, look at the government shutdown.
Come on.
You know, and they divided on that. They divided. You know, the Democrats were like, "Hey, we could do this." The Republicans were like, "Nah, f y'all. Y'all deal with that. We ain't got nothing to do with that." But in the more before I bring out this last point.
I don't.
All right. This is Job chapter 20. I'm going to read verse 4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth? So meaning, pay attention. Remember this from the days of old. Verse 5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. So even in the days of old, anybody that was wicked, or anything that was thing or person in particular that was wicked, or people, their triumphing was short. It was short-lived. It never ever played out over generations and generations and generations and generations. It was a small, short time. And the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. Right now, Esau, his joy, he's a hypocrite, so it's for a moment. It's only gonna last but for so long, and then it's gonna stop and go away. And the Most High will be like, okay, up next. We just transitioning into the next part of the movie. I'm gonna jump straight to verse 19. It says, because he has oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save that which he desired, save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So Esau done oppressed many people. He has forsaken the poor, our people, Yasher Allah, because he has violently taken away an house. He has. Just look what he did with that. Palestine, that's what you call it, Palestine, over there, when he bombed all them people. Them people had houses. You blowed all that stuff up. Their houses are gone. That's taking away a house in violence. No, you're
good. Matter of fact, the government is on trial now about the innocent people that got fucked up when they pulled the troops out of Afghanistan.
Come on.
Yeah, they got a lot of people fucked up. They let the Taliban went in there just pulling people out of houses, beheading them, all kind of shit, man.
For real. They taking away a house in violence. Look at what they're gonna do when they here in Babylon. They already deemed everybody terrorists.
They doing that up north right now. I believe, like in New York and Philly, pretty much confiscating people from their homes. You know, taking their homes and turning it into another type of business or whatever.
Yeah, pulling out by violence, kicking people doors down. So now you have retired veterans and stuff like that are here that are highly trained, by the way, and now Esau is talking about, oh yeah, we got to deem them terrorists. But you trained them. How can they be terrorists if you trained them? Now they gonna fight back and won't just lay down and let you just kill them. Now they terrorists, you know. But that's what Esau do,
because they said they want to do the job that America said they were going to do. They're saying any of y'all that the government run up on trying to snatch y'all out the houses and all that kind of. He said, call us. We'll protect y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because they're talking about cutting funding, the VA funding for the veterans, man. Because they can't even get any medical care.
Because they won't take the mandate. It says, but in all of this thing, because all of this stuff is a wicked device to procure his new world failure. You know, everybody say New World Order, but it's New World failure because it's nothing but a big failure. It's a pipe dream. It's not ever going to come to fruition. But he's not going to feel quietness in his belly. I mean, he's not going to achieve that which he set out. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be able to partake in or experience what he desires, which is a new world order, a new system, or one government, or one body under whatever you want to call it. You know, control of the people. He's not going to be able to do none of that thing. And in that, the Lord is going to destroy him. So none of his dainties, his meats, you know, no man is going to look for his goods because America's going to get destroyed and be destroyed. Esau's not going to be ruling in the times of the future times to come, you know. And nobody's going to look for his good. I mean, ain't nobody going to want to buy a Chevrolet or a Ford or nothing. Ain't nobody going to want to buy none of that stuff, you know. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know what I'm saying? We ain't finna have no Ford Chariots and Chevrolet Chariots in the kingdom. It ain't finna be no Subarus, none of that. It's finna be, whatever kind of technology that Yahweh got, that's what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Instead of Air Force Ones, we might be walking around in Leviticus 8s and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Leviticus 8.
Yeah. But in the fullness of his sufficiency, he's gonna be in straits. And that word straits means in the fullness of his strength, he's going to be in a bad position, not being able to do anything. And every hand of the wicked is going to come upon him. I mean, everybody going to get a lick. Everybody going to get their blow. But Yasharallah, once the Lord throw that first blow, he going to be like, okay, I don't put whoop on him. Y'all get him. And we going to bring hell. I'm just say hell because I can't even explain it, but we're going to bring hell on Esau. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you. Most I have it, I'm going to make Esau pay me just so he can walk around. He have to pay me to walk around. But hopefully I don't let that happen. Anyways, but when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High is going to cast his fury upon him. Right when he think he's got his new world failure in order, right? We think, yeah, I'm really finna accomplish it. The Most High going to rain fury down on it. You know what I'm saying? While he is eating, it's just like Esau going to get ready to. It's like sitting down to a good meal. You got all this table is spread. You got everything that you like. Drinks, gourmet cooks, everything. You like, wow, this is nice. I'm finna get ready to eat. As soon as you fix a plate, and as soon as you get ready to stick that fork and that knife on that plate, the damn ceiling fall down and crack him in the head, knock him out. Or he get ready and his chair break, or the whole table just crack in half. He ain't gonna be able to do none of that.
What the scriptures say, he shall be like a man that is thirsty and dreameth that he's drinking, and wake up and he's thirsty.
And yeah. Hey, you remember Jim Carrey on Me, Myself, and Irene when he had to take the medicine? Yeah. He had that extremely dry mouth.
Yeah,
that's how Esau gonna be. He gonna be like, but it's good. When he wake up, he gonna see an Israelite standing in righteousness over him. Like, it's time for you to work. Mm-hmm. 'Cause I'm coming to get you high noon, Esau. Right when the sun is highest and it's hottest, okay, time to work. I ain't gonna be nice. I'm gonna make you work in the sun. You know the sun and the sun hate you.
And we're gonna do all this according to the Lord's anger, man.
So we really don't know how mad Yahweh is. So we be thinking according to ourselves, but we don't know what the Most High gonna have us do to Esau. But for the most part, everything that we have covered in this lesson is just a wicked device of Esau. His inward thoughts, thinking he's gonna last forever, thinking he's gonna achieve his new world failure and all this stuff right here. You know, the Most High gonna let him get some of that off though. He gonna let him get by 2%, but that's it. He ain't gonna get no further than that. I'm just saying 2%. I don't really know how much the Lord gonna actually allow, but Yahweh ain't gonna let Esau go all the way, because everything that Esau comes up with is just wicked devices of Edom. That's all it is, just wicked devices.
Tricks.
You know what I'm saying? Witchcrafts. That's all it is. It ain't nothing magnificent. It's all wickedness. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta think. They already got the phones and stuff tapped. You know what I'm saying? That's why they gotta get updates all the time. You know, I tried to call one of the brothers in the camp, and my cricket service popped up, and some dude a pre-recorded message came up. Like, for real. So it's just all this is just wickedness. Any precepts before we close out?
Yeah, I got one to close out. You got one?
No.
All right, I got one. This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in Yahweh by Shem Yahushai and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And so that's basically, and that's the only thing you can fortify yourself with to be able to withstand in that day. Because the wiles, means the trickery, the craftiness that this devil's going to bring forth. He got people afraid of going outside, people afraid of hugging each other, family members going against each other. If you ain't mandated, you can't come to my house type shit. You know what I'm saying? People that once loved each other despise each other because of these draconian measures and mandates that these devils are putting on the people. So if you're not covered in the blood of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and if you don't possess the Holy Spirit, you're not going to have the knowledge and wisdom to stabilize you in that time. But that's what's going to be the strength of our salvation.
So you got to have the wisdom, the power, and the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai to withstand the wiles, i.e. the trickery and the devices of Esau.
I do got one more. Proverbs 29 and 25, it says, the fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso put up his trust in the Lord shall be safe. So, you know, whoso put their trust in man, all right, it's going to be, you know, secluded from the Lord.
They're going to be trapped by the traps of man.
Man. You know, and those that trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua wholeheartedly, all right, they look for his covering, you know, and look for his tower, you know, that trust in his name, most importantly, is going to be able to be safe, you know, in that time of trouble, man.
So you're going to have the mind of Yahweh Shai. You're going to have the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You're going to have to have on the full armor of the gospel in order to withstand, because it's getting serious, and we seeing the fall of Esau right before our very eyes, just like the Most High said He would do. So it's finna be some hell that's finna come, but those that are living in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, they're gonna be stabilized, and they're gonna have stability. But everybody else outside of that, they're gonna be caught out here. They like the saying, they're gonna be out here down bad.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying, by these wicked devices of Edom. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, B'Shem, Yahweh Shai, B'Shem, Ha, Rakha, Kodash, Ma. And again, another double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Another double honor to my elder, our elder of this camp as well. You know, and with that, Shalom.